Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and here is a camera comparison of two smartphones below the 15,000 price segment in India, the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Realme U1. Both the smartphones have great hardware and also good camera hardware, so let's find out how they perform in this segment. Talking about the specifications, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a dual camera setup with 12 megapixel f1.8 primary camera and a secondary 5 megapixel shooter for depth sensing. The front camera is a 13 megapixel camera with f-stop 2.0 and a dedicated LED flash. Now coming to the Realme U1, it comes with 13 megapixel shooter with f2.2 aperture and it also has a secondary depth sensing camera. There is also a 25 megapixel f2.0 camera on the front panel for selfies along with screen flash. Now let's go straight into the camera samples to see which is better. First, let's have a look at the video recording. Here both the smartphones can record videos in 1080p resolution, while the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has support for 4K, the Realme U1 does not support it. Also, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has EIS support, hence the video looks stabilized while it is shaky on the Realme U1. While the colors looks richer on the Realme U1, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 looks closer to natural colors. So here we would say the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is the winner. Next, the daylight captures. Looking at the samples, you could see both devices offer decent imaging abilities and the details are also quite good. When you zoom into the images, you could see the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has slightly better sharpness levels and lesser noise. When it comes to color reproduction, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is closer to natural colors even though it's not the perfect one, but you could see richer colors on the Realme U1. In close-up images, you could see both the devices have good colors and produces images with good details. Here again, the Zenfone has better sharpness levels and natural colors, while the Realme U1 does saturate the images. Next, let's have a look at the low light captures. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 has f1.8 aperture, while the Realme U1 has f2.2 aperture. When you look at the extreme low light captures, both does a decent job, but the noise levels are lesser on the Zenfone Max Pro M2. In indoor shots with artificial light, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 does a better job with good details and decent sharpness levels compared to the Realme U1. Now coming to the portrait mode. Here we could see both the devices are capable of producing good portraits. The edge detection is quite similar on both the phones, but here we would pick the Zenfone Max Pro M2 as the portrait shots on the M2 looks better with better colors and sharper images. Finally, the selfie camera. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a 13 megapixel selfie camera, while the Realme U1 has a 25 megapixel shooter. The skin tones are quite similar on both the phones, but probably our choice would be the Realme U1, which is probably the best selfie camera in this price segment. In extreme low light selfies and selfies with flash, the Realme U1 does a better job with better colors. The Realme U1 offers portrait mode in selfies, which is currently not available on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and will come via an update later on. So this is the front-facing camera sample taken with the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2, which can record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the front-facing camera. So this is the front-facing camera sample taken with the Realme U1. So it can record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output from the front-facing camera. So that is the camera comparison of the Zenfone Max Pro M2 with the Realme U1. So summing up, which is the better camera smartphone? So in simple words, we would say the rear camera was better on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 while the selfies were better on the Realme U1. We expect ASUS to release a camera update later this month, which should improve things on the Zenfone Max Pro M2. So which is your pick among the two camera smartphones? Drop in your thoughts in the comment section. So this is Nirmal signing off with the camera comparison of the Realme U1 with the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.